Hey, Roy.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How you been, son?
Thanks for coming by.
Dude, the set, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna look nice when it's done, bro.
Yeah.
This is good.
It's done.
No, it's not done.
Yeah, this is it. It's been about a year, so.
I mean, cause like I can set up a GoFundMe for you, bro. Like
You would do that?
You don't have to live like this, man.
We're here with comedian Roy Wood Jr. You know him from The
Yes.
Daily Show.
Yes.
You know him from This Is Not Happening.
Indeed.
And Father Figure, which is on standup.com, right?
Yes, and wherever you bootleg media.
So you're a Cubs fan?
Yes,
You're a Dolphins fan?
indeed.
Who is it for basketball?
Charlotte Hornets.
How did this happen?
Because this is what people don't understand, is that when you live in a state that has no professional teams, you're at the mercy of basic cable. So you root for whatever comes on TV. I'm from Alabama, and on TV in the 80s was the Cubs and the Dolphins because of regional coverage on NFL, and the Cubs came on WGN. There was also the Braves, but the Braves sucked in the 80s.
Right.
Therefore, you root for the Cubs, who had a better 80s. I don't know why I'm pointing at you. Well, I don't know why I'm directing my anger at you and not the people who used to attack me for that. And then when the Charlotte Hornets came along, now the Atlanta Hawks were the Hawks, but when the Hornets came along, like people don't understand, that was one of the first rebel type NBA teams. Like you had the Pistons, but in terms of just this badass dude, Larry Johnson.
Pre-back surgery, he was explosive.
He's wearing a grandma dress and dunking on people. You've got Muggsy Bogues, he's 4 foot. You got Alonzo Mourning, Dale Curry, swoosh. So it was an easy team to root for because they
Scott
were
Burrell.
Dude, oh
I remember that
God,
team.
bro. Even when all those guys left and they had Kendall Gill and they had Kenny Anderson, this is all expansion drafts. They had Anthony Mason. Thank you very much,
All-star. You had two of my faves.
Dude.
Anthony Mason, I think he was in Miami, was an all-star. But he had a nice little run with Charlotte.
Yeah,
so Vlade Divac.
I ended
traded Kobe for Vlade Divac.
traded Kobe for Vlade Divac. I used to work at a rehab hospital in Birmingham, and you know Birmingham's like all the sports medicine stuff, so any time the guys get cut open or whatever, they come down there. And I was the guy that would run food trays to all the rooms. Met Vlade Divac a couple of months after the Kobe deal, and I just whispered in the room, I hope this works out for us. Suspended 3 days. Because at this hospital, you're not supposed to talk to the athletes. You're supposed to treat them like regular people. And it's Alabama. When the hell else am I going to see Troy Aikman?
Did you see Troy,
Yeah, I saw Troy Aikman. Anybody with shoulder surgery and you stayed overnight, you were at this rehab hospital, and I was the guy bringing you horribly seasoned hospital food. I generally don't speak to famous people when I see them at all now, because I don't know how it's going to go.
Right.
And I don't want to ruin it, you know? I saw Samuel L. Jackson one time at a Starbucks, and it's my fault for speaking. Because he had this is back in the BlackBerry days. He has 2 BlackBerries, he's working, he's got a Bluetooth in, he's got a script in his back pocket, he's trying to stir his coffee, and here comes my stupid behind. Mr. Jackson, you're an inspiration to black actors. And he just looks over at me, keep God first, brother, keep doing what you're doing. And goes right back. And that's not in my head how I thought it would go.
It never plays out.
It's not like he was rude, but just in my head, I go up and I go, Mr. Jackson, you an inspiration. And then he goes, come on back to Hollywood with me, young man. I'll give you a career. But that's not what happened.
And he had it so locked and loaded. You know he says it to so many people.
But only the black, Samuel L. Jackson strikes me as the type who has a specific response based on your demographic, based on your gender and your age and race and all of that. And for a black male in his early 30s, Sam Jackson just keep God first, don't give up yet. It's not the end. He can count the gray hairs in your mustache and assess how close you are to giving up on your dreams. And he just knows to give you this one needs a little inspiration.
For me, he just starts saying Ezekiel 25:17 to shoot me in the leg.
Yeah. So he's cool, man. But
do you so you're from Birmingham, but you did the road. Do you have an allegiance to Birmingham, or could you not wait to get out, or both?
Birmingham it's complicated because it's a city that you love, but if your dreams are bigger than what the infrastructure can provide, you have to leave.
Right.
And then you come back. And that's what I try to do now. I've been blessed enough in the last 10, 15 years of my career to do a lot and make enough money to be able to go back to Birmingham and try to do things that make a difference in the community. My high school baseball team, Ramsey High School, is one of the few completely black baseball teams in the country. Like, there's only like 23 black people playing baseball on earth. 15 of them are in Birmingham, Alabama right now. So, you know, it's been cool to be a booster and be able to go back and do stuff with the team. And
Did you play baseball?
yeah, I wore the uniform. I wore the uniform and I showed up to the games and I spewed, you know, cheers of support from the bench. Because you know what it was, Sam? I was too good. I was too good. And
That's why I choose to be on a regional sports network. I'm too good at this, you know?
yeah, like that's what
I'm
it is.
getting offers left and right. But
Dude, I was too good, and the coach knew, Roy, if we put you in this game, it's going to be too lopsided.
yeah.
So we can't put you in the game. I need you to sit on the bench. I only play baseball twice a month. But, you know, I have an allegiance to the city and the spirit of the city. It's growing, it's changing, and that's one of the things, without getting into politics, but we all know what the reputation of Alabama is on a larger national scale. So anytime I have an opportunity to do something on TV and represent the state in a normal, civilized fashion, that's what the hell I'm gonna do.
You're a father. You know, you do stand-up.
Yes.
To me, they're like, stand-up is like it can be the most selfish thing. You're living in your head, you're creating jokes, you're out on the road. It's very much about you.
Yes.
And then being a parent, that's like one of the more selfless things if you're doing it right. So is that a struggle at all?
It's hard. It's very hard. I've said that every day a comedian wakes up. If you're a comedian in a relationship, and you have a child, you wake up and you can be a good partner, you can be a good father, you can be a good entertainer, but you can only choose two. As a comedian, what I've learned now with my son, and this has been the hardest thing, is that home, I can no longer work at home. Home is no longer my office. Home used to be where I used to get stuff done. I'd go to the house, sit up till 3 in the morning, but now I get home, he's there at the door immediately. I gotta do stuff with him till 8, then he falls asleep, and I kinda wanna be a good partner, so I'm gonna sit and watch Dancing with the Stars or Bachelorette or Celebrity, Big Brother. I gotta watch one of these shows or something with my girl. Then they're asleep, and now it's midnight. Now what do? Do you stay up a little longer and work, or do you go to sleep? Oh my God, I'm so damn tired. So you can't choose. But yeah, it's something I wouldn't trade for the world, and I say that because I'm supposed to.
Yeah. We're back on People Talking Sports. We're joined by the radio voice of the Knicks, Ed Cohen, and we're back with Roy Wood Jr. and of course, whatever your name is.
I guess so, Sam. All right.
The new look Cavs out of the gate. This is like the big NBA story. They're rejuvenated. They look fun. Like LeBron seems happy again, which he's like a America's Got Talent judge. You got to keep him in a good mood.
Why are people talking about the Cavs like they had plastic surgery? Like, oh my God, they look so good. Look at they got defense in the hips and more offense to bring out the shoulders. It's like it's a couple trades and they traded for some good players. They should be better.
Yeah, but you're right. It's like people are dealing with it. Like it feels to me like someone had your friend had a bad breakup and he got married again too soon. You know, like he's like, this is the one, and you're like, Jordan Clarkson, that's who you're going to spend the rest of your life with? All right. I mean, it's not a great contract, you know?
He's a good player.
He's a very good player.
He played great against the Knicks last time at Staples Center. I think he's young, he has potential, and, you know, LeBron's been a funny case. He's gone to the Eastern Conference Finals last 7 years, then the NBA Finals with 2 teams, and the roster seems like it changes every year, but you have to look at the 82 games and say, where will they be in April? And I think with this move and 20-something more games to go, they'll grow into a team that will be very good and maybe be the best team by the time they get to the postseason.
You're literally just watching a new postseason for the Cavs. I mean, a new preseason.
And I was watching how great his voice was. That was incredible.
Yeah, that really was. Wow.
Smooth.
That was smooth.
That was so cool.
This is basically preseason all over again for the Cavs. It's like, all right, let's just get out here and ball, see what happens, and whether we are a 2 seed or a 4 seed, it doesn't matter. We just need to get into the playoffs.
Can anyone beat the Cavs though? In the East? I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm still skeptical about them going forward. I mean, I watched that Thunder game last night. They look great. They look athletic. They can hit open threes. But still, I mean, Boston, I still think poses a threat. I haven't seen enough about Toronto, but I know people are raving about
Toronto
them.
looks good.
They look really good.
Yeah.
And I think their bench right now is so much better than it was a year ago. They play fast. Guy I like is Siakam.
Yes.
He really had his way against Porzingis that first meeting in Toronto, and I think in a 7-game series, it's a tough team to go up against.
Yeah, I think the Cavs are they're beatable as it stands right now. Ask me that question 20 games from now. I don't know. But right now, I still think it's anybody's conference.
They've changed up. It's crazy to me that J.R. Smith is still there. Of all the people, you know, like I love J.R. Smith, but it's like I feel like he's like Paulie in The Sopranos. You're like, how did this guy survive?
Yeah, man, he's like somehow, I don't know what's happened to him, but like even in the Boston game and while I was watching the game last night, he looks like old J.R. Smith in a good way.
Yeah.
Like he's, he's still, he's taking crazy fadeaway threes in the corner, but they're falling. He's playing defense last night. Even his post-game interview was good.
You know why I like J.R. Smith?
Honestly.
I like J.R. Smith because he always plays basketball like a college recruiter is in the stands.
Right.
And this is his shot at a scholarship.
Yeah.
Like just balls out. Just, it's like, what are you doing, man? You know, I don't care. I need a scholarship. You have a ring, J.R. It doesn't matter.
Isaiah Thomas to the Lakers. He claims he got his powers back. He's so dramatic.
I know.
The Lakers, it's like he's playing with a bad team again. So he's like, yeah, of course. You were with guys that, like, you were with LeBron and Wade. I know they weren't playing well, but they're still like, excellence. They are what basketball is all about. So now when you're playing next to Lonzo Ball,
Right.
people are gonna be like, yeah, I feel good. When I play with 15-year-olds in the park,
right.
I feel good.
Magic, man. I feel sorry for him. And he has to say
Yeah.
something to stay upbeat. Even if he does feel bad about his current situation, we won't truly know until the end of the season where he wants to be and whether or not he really likes Los Angeles. But like, I feel for Isaiah. Like, Isaiah's like this gorgeous person who keeps getting cheated on.
Right.
Boston did him wrong. Cleveland did him wrong. And now you see him out in L.A. and you hope that he's happy. And he's just saying things. You ever have somebody go through a breakup and then they just say positive stuff on their Facebook page for a week and a half? I have my magic back. Everything's fine. I'm okay. Look, I'm in L.A. This is great. Oh, God, there's LeVar Ball. Oh, my God.
It's like, it's like Jennifer Aniston post Brad Pitt. Like everyone's like, she looks great. You're like, yeah, we always thought she looked great. Why do you have to keep? It's like he's. When's the last time though that you saw a player? He averaged 29 or whatever it was last game, top 5 MVP votes, and he's on 3 teams in less than a calendar year. That's crazy.
He's endured a crazy year. Obviously, you had the tragedy during the playoffs last year with his sister. Whether it was working towards the end in Boston or not is, something to be looked at going back. But you get the injury, you come back late, the Cavs are in disarray by the time you get back, it's not working with LeBron. So you kind of feel for somebody who's trying to get back to that all-star level and has to do it now in his 3rd place in, less than a year.
Paul Pierce hating on him.
That was strange.
He wouldn't give up
That was just a
retirement
cherry on
ceremony.
top. It's just a Paul Pierce hate.
Well, because they wanted to do like a video tribute to him the same
Don't
night.
you play a video tribute for another person when you retire in my jersey. I'm the truth.
Well, what do you say to the people that say, Pierce was there for, a decade plus. He was there for all the bad years. And then this guy was great, but it was really like 3 seasons or 2 seasons, right?
I think what made Paul Pierce great when he was a player, I guess, made him great when he was about to get his number retired. But he did foresee that potentially the guy wouldn't be around. So all things considered, I guess he did end up getting his day.
Yeah.
I feel like a video tribute to Isaiah was a little bit patronizing on the Celtics part. It's like, sorry we did that to you.
Paul Pierce's retirement night, his jersey went up. One of the all-time greats of our time for sure. An amazing player, Finals MVP, was there for the good, the bad. Ray Allen, it's like, when is this beef gonna end? He does this long Instagram post. It's like, it's that thing. No one will forgive him on the Celtics. He sounds like a dad who left for a few formative years. And he comes back. He's like, I'm still your dad.
I'm still on that team.
He was,
Yeah.
right?
You don't win without me.
We
you
won
know,
stuff.
He had a prior commitment. Apparently, he was golfing with George Lopez. So there's no way he could have blown that off. Anthony, if I can't make your birthday, it's because I'm going to be playing bocce with Bob Saget.
I'm with Ray Allen on this. It's your day. If you don't want me there and we ain't cool, I'm not finna stand there and look stupid standing next to you. It's different if this was a ceremony to honor the 2008 Celtics. They're like, oh, we're honoring the team. It's the 10th anniversary. Come on, remember the shot. No, it's your day. Have your day. I'm gonna be down here and then I'm gonna post a picture with George Lopez to be petty. Why bother?
Yeah. Does Paul Pierce hate George Lopez too? Was that like a move or anything? Does anybody know that? Do you know that?
I don't have
I mean,
a
if it's
specific
cold
answer.
You don't privy. Okay.
If we talking code of the streets, he's gotta hate Lopez now too.
Yeah. Right.
Because
Yeah.
you roll with the dude that I don't roll with, therefore I don't roll with either one of y'all, both of y'all can get.
Yeah, that might have been a real dig. Like maybe Ray Allen knew Paul Pierce loved Lopez tonight, and he was like, I'm really sticking it to him. You know what I mean?
You know that Garnett hates Lopez right now.
Yes.
That's how Garnett. That's the problem. This team, they stick together, and like maybe it's what made them a great team when they won. But it's like, you know, Rondo was kind of like a protege of Garnett. He was like on the Garnett student side, and then Ray Allen had the beef with Rondo because he's not getting him the ball. If you have Ray Allen on your team and you're lucky enough to be a point guard to have a shooter that good, get him the ball.
Crazy
Make him
thing
happy.
is, those are four really strong personalities.
Yeah.
And Ray is probably the most soft-spoken of the four.
Yeah.
Right.
And look what he's doing now. Apparently he's social media savvy, but is George Lopez a Lakers fan? Do we know that
Yes,
for sure?
he is.
I think so. Yeah.
Sorry.
Look, the last thing I'll say on it is I think this team, like, just get over it. Like, to me, it's crazy that Ray Allen, he was the missing piece on that team, you know, and to not appreciate that. I mean, to me as a Knicks fan, as someone who we haven't won in 40 years, these Celtics fans are spoiled with championships. If this was a Knick, we'd be cool. We just give us one ring.
But the beef
Right.
with Ray Allen is rooted in the fact that he went to Miami.
But he was on the trading block with regularity. I mean, you can't. Loyalty goes both ways. That's what I don't like about it. Is it like?
He was in an advanced stage when he went to Miami, knowing that he probably had one more shot at a title.
Yeah.
He didn't just go there.
Kind of a gun for hire.
Yeah.
Hit one of the biggest shots in NBA history. I mean, when someone hits a shot from that corner, they make a shot from the Ray Allen corner in Miami. So he was part of something really special. For him to have the animosity towards the Celtics and towards the guys he played with, that's obviously something that's personal. But I think if you're Ray Allen, you accomplished what you set out to do, which is to play one more year for a winner. And he was part of a group that returned the title to Boston.
If I'm Ray Allen and I go to the Hall of Fame, my bust is a picture of me and Kevin Garnett. Just to be petty. Just a picture.
How do me and George Lopez?
Can I say one thing though? I think that, you know, Ray Allen. We talk about loyalty going both ways. These guys are calling him disloyal, but where were Garnett and Paul Pierce? If those are really your guys and you're this big three, they should be publicly saying, you don't trade this guy. This is part of our nucleus. And no one did that. It seems like they just didn't get along. And it's a shame because their games really, like, the way LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, they had to, like, force their games together. Bosh had to develop a three. They kind of all had to adapt. Whereas Pierce is a scorer, Allen is a shooter, and Garnett was this defensive monster. It just worked. So.
And it worked late, too. I mean, those three guys got there 10, 12, 13 years into their careers. It's not as if they were 5 or 6 years in and were building something. They got there to win and win now, which it's surprising how things turned at that stage of their careers.
Yeah, and they also, like, I felt like part of the reason I'm a Knicks fan, and I even respected that team because they had all lost being the guy for so many years. Like, for so many years, they were the guy, they were lord of their city. Garnett was like this monster in Minnesota who was on bad team after bad team. Nowadays, when a player's on a bad team and they're playing like he played, they're like, I want out. Garnett never said that.
Yeah.
So you kind of had this respect for all, and, you know, the same for Pierce and Allen. So them coming together, it's like, oh, they all earned it. Whereas you see someone like Durant just going, and you're like, we were already on a great team.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, they were a super team, but it was like an earned super team, so no one was really upset about it. If anything, everyone was rooting for them to win a championship.
Right.
Whereas, like, with Golden State, you're almost like you don't want them to win because of how they've assembled their team.
We're back on People Talking Sports. This is a crazy story. Lonzo Ball's father said something weird. He said that if the Lakers don't sign LiAngelo and LaMelo, Lonzo's out. This always works out really well when players hire siblings.
When is the question? We're talking at the conclusion of his rookie contract?
Yeah, you can't. I think he doesn't realize that his son's on a rookie contract, and you can't just leave.
You better bring my boy. So then what are your boys going to do in the meantime? What if I say no? What you going to do?
I think
you're going to let them
they're going to say
play?
they're going to say no.
They're gonna say
You're
no.
going to let them just play in Lithuania for the next 4 years, waiting for the Lakers? Or you going to bring them on over here and get that cool NBA money? What you going to do, Pops?
Dude,
Huh?
Jeannie Buss sold out her own brother. She got rid of her own brother in the front office. You think she's gonna play ball with us?
Right.
She's cold-blooded.
He doesn't care about siblings. He meddles in so many things that it's going to be interesting to see in 5 to 7 years whether or not this was good for the sake of his children or detrimental to the sake of his children.
Oh, it's detrimental, I think.
I think it's detrimental. It's like, at what point do you take kids away from their parents? At a certain, like, are they too old for that?
Never been to Lithuania?
What? No, yeah.
We haven't, to answer your question.
No. We're gonna do one live show in Lithuania. We're taking PTS on the road.
Like Lonzo Ball LeVar Ball has literally created a culture now where in scouting going forward, the question is going to be, what's your relationship like with your dad?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you don't know him? Great. A plus. This is an attribute. He doesn't know his father, and he's got a 3-ball.
I think the part that gets me is you look at their examples in college. UCLA, Lonzo's there, and his brothers follow, but Lonzo got there. You know, Michael Porter, Danny Manning. There have been a lot of cases where you might have a father or a coach who becomes an assistant or gets a spot in the program, maybe a friend who's given a scholarship to get that guy. This is the Lakers. This is the NBA.
Right.
You're not giving up the program for one guy, and I think that discord at some point, you know, you're talking about one of the preeminent franchises in the NBA, it's going to rear its head. You can't play this type of game with Jeannie Buss, with the Lakers, and with this league. It just goes against anything we've seen.
That's such a great point. And also, and on top of that, it's like, not only have they handled it poorly with the parents and the front office, I think in some ways Magic Johnson's handled this poorly. Like, now, I mean, he picked the kid. I think the kid's got a ton of talent.
Not checking him.
But then, but he would do the whole thing where he's like, this is the heir to the Laker throne. It's like, it's already so hard to come into a market that big. It's already it's the hardest position to come into, especially in the modern NBA. And then you're going to put that extra pressure on him to fill Magic Johnson's shoes?
Yeah, and it's just a thing where, I mean, and I agree with you, and I think Lonzo is a good player, and I think he's got a lot of upside going forward, but he's not the LeBron wouldn't even think of doing this. Bringing your brothers, I mean, LeBron, it's Mike Miller and James Jones all the time. We're talking about, like, LeBron's, like, you know, his siblings.
They hit the threes.
Right, yeah, they're great. I'm not saying, we're talking about, you know, these are his brothers, and he's like, he's not playing well enough to pull this off. And I don't think that he has the capability to do that. This is an insane idea.
Oh, we got to wrap this up. You guys, thank you so much for coming on. Keep watching People Talking Sports. Thank you so much, Roy. Thank you, Ed.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it so much.